So I had kind of this sick feeling just now in my stomach. I've been like binging on playing Skyrim a lot lately. I know it's like older, but everybody, essentially all of my squad, has been playing it. And so I've kind of, that's been a lot of what my absence of videos has been, just because I've literally been like enthralled in old games and stuff like that I haven't played in a while. And to be honest, I was getting kind of drained, and I am a little bit drained of making videos and things, and I'm gonna come back with it. I don't want to put out stuff that's just to put something out. But I thought I'd throw this up, I guess, because this helped last time to put up, and it's more for the sake of myself, and there's not even really anybody watching these videos of this channel or anything, so I don't think it matters. But I kind of realized the thing is, okay, to start off, this is going to be another kind of like deep video. Not deep, just not the most fun. So if you're kind of like here for my funnier stuff or more like lighthearted things, I would turn off this video, because it's not that lighthearted. This series in general is at the moment not super lighthearted, because I'm just kind of using it as like a public venting kind of channel. But not channel, but to channel my venting. The thing is, like, I had this really weird moment for whatever reason while I was playing. This is one of these things. Okay, so to explain that, essentially how my grief has worked is that really small things can remind me of what happened. With for my mom passing. Pretty much like almost anything can tie back to it for me, and I can like associate really, really odd things with her death and losing her, and like the process afterwards and stuff. And the thing is that after she passed away, there's like I think I may have said in my first kind of like whatever event session about this, the first video that I put out, there's this kind of like portion of my life that, and anybody's life generally, a lot of people that experience like really, really tragic kind of loss, or somebody really close to them or anything like that really like tied into who they are as a person, or their entire childhood, anything like that, losing a parent around the same age as me, anything like that. A lot of people have said that they experience the same thing with the sense that the person, I guess, that you're building up to be through childhood, the person through your teenage years, even through like a little bit of college, anything like that you were building into, it dies very quickly with the person that dies too. If you lose a parent specifically and you're really close to them, a lot of times you feel like a part of you just dies with them. And I very much have felt that, which sucks, because at the moment I can't remember what I was like before everything happened. I can't. Everybody like says that I'll get snippets of it back, and that with time it like reheals itself and you go back to that. I don't believe that. I don't think that you ever really go back to what you were before things have happened before you lose somebody, because I think that affects you in such a deep way to your core that you just can't plausibly go back. You can't justify going back, because you're not the same person, and the person before hadn't experienced the tragedy and the things that you've gone through. But the thing is that a lot of times the hardest things for me through the process of healing through this have been basically anything that just for a moment takes me back to things that were before this summer, before I experienced my actual glimpse of like tragedy, death. It's weird stuff. It's really weird stuff. I mean, like, things like if I'll just be making dinner or something like that, and I realize that I'm doing something that like my mom used to make, or that before she was like really sick, she used to show me how to do originally, things that I learned already. I mean, like, I've been like just baking stuff before, and I'll do something really simple with like adding lemon juice to something, or like putting an extra spoonful of something in that I only do because I remember her telling me how to do. I mean, she cooked all the time. That was like a really big thing with my mom my entire life that I remember, is that she was always cooking, and she was really fucking good at cooking. And it's like the thing that gets frustrating is that things that are like things that I try to replicate to try to go back a little bit, I can't replicate anymore. I can no longer replicate how she cooks. I'm starting to remember things that are important from before everything happened. I'm remembering stuff that she tried to like teach me over the summer when we knew that she was dying, when she was trying to get out like any sort of like information, anything that she could to me where she could pass along before she was gone. If you make like a pizza at home, if we have like anything where if I've made like a homemade pizza, that like will reduce me to tears sometimes, just because I'm like, it just reminds me immediately of things that were like a standard thing, a staple part of my household, of my childhood, everything like that. And that's so fucking weird because it's just it's pizza. It has nothing to do with like death or loss or anything. It shouldn't tie to it, but it does. I mean, one of the things today, and the reason I'm actually making this, the weirdest thing that I think I've ever had experience is that while playing Skyrim, I was like literally in some ruins, and I found this one of those fucking like the Lusty Argonian books or something, and like for whatever freakish bizarre reason, my mind clicked with that and remembered these like sappy, like gross romance books that like people's moms and like aunts and grandmas and whoever read, like the Harlequin stuff that you can get at like book sales and church stores and stuff. And like I just remember so vividly that my mom used to read those all the time, and there came a point after chemo and everything where she couldn't use her fingers anymore very well. Everything. She had really serious neuropathy, so anything that she touched, anything that she came in contact with, it just burned her. It seared her skin. It was like touching needles everywhere. And it's horrifying to me that she went through that all the time. But what it really did is that it cut the ability for her to do things that she loved so far down. The cooking was a big thing that I remember, but the thing is that she couldn't do that for a long time. Even when she did cook, I mean, she always liked to cook. She was always like she just liked experiencing foods. She liked learning new recipes. She liked stuff like that. She would have the cooking channel, Food Network, running like all day long in between that and soap operas. And she couldn't taste anything for years. Her taste buds died essentially from the chemo, and everything just tasted like bland sludge to her. Every single thing that she tasted, or it was like she could vaguely taste it, but if not, it would just make her sick. And I don't think I saw her eat a single meal for 3 years straight that she didn't just like eventually just stop eating after 2 bites or just spit out or anything, because her colon portions of it were missing. And it's like reading books she couldn't read anymore because she couldn't turn the pages on. We got her a Kindle because we could maybe see her like doing that easier, and she didn't even use it for reading. She would just use it for Facebook because her fingers still hurt to like glide along the glass and everything. And then even with the Kindle, we tried getting another one later, a nicer tablet for her this past year, that when I went up to college she was asking me to teach her how to use, and I just kept putting it off because I didn't know exactly how the tablet worked, and I could have just sat down and been like, here's how you do it, anything like that, and I just never remembered to. And I remember like this summer there was this whole point where she was just like, I was in the living room with her, and it was after we found out that she was dying, and she was like trying to figure out her tablet or something, and she just went back to her old one or anything because she just couldn't figure out the new one, and there was no real point. And I just kept apologizing because I felt so bad that I never taught her how to use it, and it was too late to. And it's like, I'm so deeply wracked with guilt about things still that are just now coming to the forefront of stuff. And I'm trying really hard to wrap my head around the concept that I no longer have a mother, and that I don't have this person in my life who is so important to me, and just somebody who was essentially my best friend, who I had known for my entire life, who molded and helped me build up who I am as a person, even if it's kind of shattered right now. She doesn't exist, and she won't come back, and I don't know if I am ever again in time going to see her through spiritual means or anything like that, because I have no idea what anything means here. I don't know what existence is. I don't know what life is. I don't take the time to argue with people about beliefs or about what holds in the future or whatever, anything, because it just, nobody knows. None of us know whether it's most likely, least likely, anything like that. I don't know, and I don't want to think about it, because once you go through something like this, it's not comforting to think about either way. Nothing comforts you. Nothing really makes you feel worse you're just trapped in this like continuous limbo, and I don't know how to get out of that. I'm kind of realizing more and more what happened as time's going on to the full capacity of what happened, and it sucks. It just really, really sucks.